everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I have a Christmas card for you using a few different items. This is the card that we're actually creating, and to make this card I used our Cable Knit, is it called? Yeah. Cable Knit Dynamic Embossing Folder. I used the Flourish Thinlit dies, so we used these two here. And then for our sentiment, I am using the Flurry of Wishes. So let's go ahead and show you how I created this. For our card base, I have a piece of garden green, and this is our standard A2 size, so 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I already have that scored. Let me get my bone folder. Give that a nice crease. I have a piece of cherry cobbler, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of crumb cake that is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And this is the piece we are going to emboss. So let me bring in our big shot. Now I wanted to show you with this Cable Knit embossing dynamic embossing folder. If you have not seen these, it is very thick, much thicker than our standard ones. It's the 6 by 6, and so on the packaging it will tell you how to create your sandwich for the Big Shot. So we're going to use our regular Big Shot platform. We're going to put our crumb cake in the embossing folder, and I'm going to put it in this way so that I can get that pattern going vertically. And then we're going to put one clear cutting pad on top. So let me bring in the Big Shot. So you can see I have my platform. We're going to set this here, and then I'm going to grab my clear plate, and then we are going to run that through. And this one just gives you a much, I don't know if you'd call it like a thicker emboss. It's a little bit deeper. It's very nice. It's a beautiful folder. But like I said, very different in thickness from our others. Let me set this aside. So there it is, and it really looks like a sweater. And it also looks Celtic, so it's very versatile. I just love it. Okay, let me set that aside. Now we can go ahead and adhere these down. So let me bring in my fast fuse. Put just a touch here on the sides. Okay. So I cut this so I could show, you know, a little bit more of that garden green. Sometimes it's nice to have a thicker border. Okay. And then now we can put down our crumb cake. Now since this is embossed, I'm going to put adhesive around all 4 corners because I want to be sure it sticks. And just be careful, because this is the dynamic, you know, it embosses, I don't know, thicker, higher, I don't know how you describe it. So your paper feels a little bit thin when you're putting your adhesive, so just be careful. Let me straighten this out. That looks about right. Okay, let me go just like that. Okay, so because there was some die cutting here, I did these pieces in advance. So like I said, we used the Flourish Thinlit. So I cut these two in the cherry cobbler, and I cut this in the garden green. And then for our sentiment, we are using the layering squares. So let me show you. These are very close in size, so if you can see, there's not a huge border around these two. So I cut the outer one in the cherry cobbler and then used the Whisper White. That's where we're going to stamp our sentiment. And then I also have a piece, 2 pieces of the Warmth and Cheer Designer Series paper, which we used last week, I believe. So these are cut at 3.5 by 3/4, and we are going to flag both of these with our triple banner punch. So I am going to line this up. I'm pushing it all the way in there, and I'm just making sure it's centered, even though it's smaller than the guide. Okay, so there we go. Let me do my other piece. That looks good. Okay. All right. I think what we'll do is we'll stamp real quick so that we can get this adhered down. So I'm stamping in the cherry cobbler, and again I'm using the Be Filled with Wonder, Be Touched by Peace, Believe in the Miracle. Cherry cobbler is a much deeper red than our real red, but equally beautiful, especially for holiday projects. Okay. So we will adhere this to our scalloped circle, or square. Let's see. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap these banners, and I'm kind of putting them on an angle. So if it's easier for you to hold, you could put a staple here to hold them. I am going to just use adhesive. I know it's a little tricky doing it that way. Let me see how okay, that should be good. All right. I want them to be kind of coming up. Okay, and then I'm just going to leave my square here. It's not adhered, just to kind of get some placement. So I want my leaves coming out. I think I'm going to overlap that, and then I'm going to take my other little piece and come out the bottom here. Okay, whoops. So that's probably about there. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my fine tip glue. All right, and then we are going to use some dimensionals on our sentiment, and I will probably do 5. So I'll do 1 on each corner and 1 in the center. All. So that completes our project for today. Isn't that pretty? These would be lovely cards to use this season. So as always, if you'd like to purchase any of the products used in today's video, please visit my online store at theirishscrapper.com. We're actually getting ready for our November promotions, so please check out my blog for that as well. We have some new framelits coming out that are called Stitched from the Heart, that are gorgeous, and we will be having coordinating stamp sets with those stitched framelits 25% off in November. So super deal. So if you do have any questions, please let me know. If you would like to join my team, I would love to have you. We have a lot of fun and love to create together, whether you're near or far. And we have a wonderful Facebook group that you can join by joining our team with demos across the U.S., and it's super fun. So if you have any questions about that, let me know as well. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.